can start whenever you want.
It's all of the nicotines. It means like turbo mode means you get all of the nicotine.
It just like pushes the
I don't know. It probably heats it up
you
more.
harder.
Yeah, it probably heats it up more or some shit.
And so, what is the percentage of the? Do you know?
I don't know. It's enough to
Is it a disposable?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's one of those.
So it's probably 5.
It splits in two.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the little blue plastic splits from the pink plastic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a battery and a pod. I'm a pod person,
You know, the vapes. You know, I like the vapes. I think that they're fun. They are definitely, they get the job done.
Yeah.
They just make me feel gay when I smoke them.
That's why I smoke.
You know what I mean?
I don't get enough cock in my mouth anymore, so I gotta have something. And that's literally, I think that is it. That's probably why I can't let it go.
Guys, welcome to another episode of Help I'm High and Can't Get Down. We got Def Goldblum here. Everybody, dude, welcome back. I had to ask you if you were on my podcast.
It's been a minute.
I was like, damn, dude, it's been that long,
It's
dude. It's time to have you back. How's everything been? How have you been
doing? Doing good. We both had kids since the last time we spoke.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It's fun being a dad.
What's dad life like for you? You have a son?
Yeah. So I got a baby son. And I mean, this is dad again, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's like,
this is round 2.
Yeah. This is the reboot. I get my second chance. I get to be an old dad this time. And that's cool.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
Okay.
So I mean, but that means like my kids are I'm gonna be like in my late 50s.
That's definitely like second dad. That's like second kid dad age.
It's the second wife kind of thing. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, because I always think about this, dude. Like, because I mean, I'm 30 right now. I had my son, in November when I was 29. So my dad had me when he was 27. So, like, by the time that my son is, like, at the time he's, like, thinking about stuff, like, really, like, looking at the world and everything, like, I'm going to be the same age that my dad was when I was, like, that age, like, thinking about it. And I'm like, that's crazy to, like, think about. Like, it doesn't feel like it was that long ago either. No.
And you got to think, like, I catch myself because, like, I've got the 2 older ones. My oldest is a daughter. She's 11. And, I do music with my comedy and all that, and she's very musical herself. Mm-hmm. And not too long ago, she was just like, I think I want to be a singer when I grow up. And I was like, have a backup plan. And I shouldn't have said that. Like, it was the first thing that came out of my mouth. It was like, and I realized, I was like, oh, that's generational trauma right there. That's but no, it was like, I want to encourage, like, especially all the artistic side of things. But it's also not easy, there's often times she was like, hey, can I go do this? And I was like, we're poor, daddy's chasing his dreams, so you don't get to chase yours. No, no, like
only one person in this house can chase their dreams.
Yeah, at a time. And then right now it's my turn to shine because I can get, that's actually one of the other things where people are like, oh, why don't you like post pictures of your kids or the baby more and stuff like that? And I'm just like, that feels exploitative. Whatever that word is.
I'm glad that you said that. I feel that same way.
It feels weird.
And that, but like, I was just, I talk to like Neff or somebody, and they say lean into it. Like if you have the baby and you're doing comedy, use the baby for your comedy. You know what I mean? Like he was even saying like something as simple as just like overlaying a mouth on his mouth, like having some on my lap and then just overlaying my mouth onto his mouth and then him saying ridiculous things, but it's actually me saying it.
Shit, yeah, I kind of like that.
but you know what I mean?
Because my baby, like Jack's, his name's Jack. He's a little guy. He was born early and stuff, but he's got a little helmet on right now.
Okay.
And so like I can totally turn him into a Power Ranger real fast.
Oh wow, yeah. Is it like one to like keep him sturdy?
No, so he because he was a NICU baby, he was born a little early. He spent a lot of time and he favored one side. So it's cosmetic. It's nothing like other than that, he's doing amazing.
Nice.
He's a cool little. I was hanging out with him. Actually, it was on the way here. I was just like, oh, I bet I smell like baby throw up. And then I was like, never mind. Eddie smells like baby throw up too. We're all good.
You should have seen it. Bobby and I, we dropped off my kid at the babysitter, and dude, he was losing his mind. He did not. He has like, it's weird. I haven't done this yet, but like I haven't like tried to give him to like a male babysitter, but like he seems to be okay with dudes, but like with girls, he's like,
it's not
he
mom.
knows.
It's not mom.
He knows that there's something up, dude. He knows that they're trouble. He knows that they're gonna cause him issues.
Dad's gonna try and hit on her. He's just trying to warn. You know, I get that. I get that. Like between you and like, I'm gonna ask the forbidden question. Like, does he have a favorite between you and mom?
So it's like kind of weird. Like he started off, you know, he's kind of switched on and off, and like now he doesn't really favor one of us, but now what he's doing, so it's like before it was me, then it switched to mom for a while, and then it switched to me again. I think it's just because I'm fun. I like to make him laugh and do stuff.
Yep.
But like now what he's doing is like when one of us come home and one of the other one has had him, he doesn't want to go to the one that has just come home.
Oh, yeah. Like, he wants to be with the person he's been with all day.
He's like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah.
It's like almost kind of like a maybe overexcited because he's excited. He's not like, he's like, but then as soon as you go to get him, he's like, no. He's like, don't grab me.
No, I get it.
I'm not ready yet.
Like, I get it. Because, like if I've been, like, home alone, like, you know, I'm, like, in my computer chair, and I've been, like, cozy and, like, in my computer chair all day. And then, like, you know, like, the missus or the kids get home. You know, last thing I want to do is get up out of my chair. You know, it's the same situation. He's just cozy, you know, with whoever, and then somebody else walks in, and he's just like, I don't want to get up. Don't make me, you know, like that's all it is.
Because I bet you I'm going to go there. As soon as I get there, he's going to be fine. He's going to, you know, be fine and everything. But yeah, he's 11 months, walking, doing all that stuff. It's crazy. I love being a dad, dude. It's great.
It's the best, honestly. Like everybody, like it's funny because you know, Jack, I had him. I had a baby. I'm honestly,
you look like you're about to have another one.
I'm about to have another. Yeah, not what were we saying? Yeah, you know, he showed up, and it is funny how like everybody like you just disappear. Mm-hmm. Like in a way, like everybody's like, oh, you're busy with that now. Like, we still do comedy. You know, like I'm still out. I'm still doing my thing.
It's hard though.
Yeah.
It is. It's like, you know, especially you know, if you're both working and everything, it's just like really hard to like find the time. And you know, we both still technically work at the Funny Bone. She works there more often than I do, but like, you know, whenever we work those shifts, it's like that's like a no-go for comedy. I can't, if she's out there, I have to be at home with the baby. So
exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I'm starting to get into the point where I'm like, I need babysitters. I need somebody who just for 2 hours will hold on to him. Like it's not even he doesn't go to sleep until like 10 anyways. Mm-hmm. So just like hold on to him. I'm gonna go do 5 to 10 minutes and I'll come back.
Oh yeah,
I'll grab him.
No,
that's like where I'm at now.
We're so lucky that we've hardly used him, but like we got Grandpa.
Oh.
You know, like we got a Grandpa around, and like and like he's like step grandpa to my older kids because they're from the previous marriage, and he loves them. And so like this is his first you know, like grandbaby, you know, like where it's just like he gets to be with it. And so any chance that like we're just like, hey, I've got to leave 30 minutes. He's like, yeah. You know, like, whatever you want, you know, like he.
That's nice.
Yeah, he's the granddad who looks for like the kid can barely even like keep his head up, and he's like, I bought him a swing set. You think that'll help him, you know, keep his body up? We're like, well, someday, you know, like it's gonna be a minute. But no, I like it's being a dad is being a parent in general is exhausting, but it's rewarding.
Is it? Would you say? You know, I don't know how much parenting changes like over time, but like, is it any different really between like now and before?
Less energy. You know, like I guess that's a part of it, but like not really. I do know this much. So like this is, you know, my third kid. It's baby mama, second baby mama. It's her first. You know, so for me, like a lot of this stuff is old hat. You know, like I've been through this a million times. You know, spitting up, a baby spit up. Like that's just kind of how it is. And she was just like, "You shouldn't be throwing up this much." I was just like, "What do you mean throwing up?" She was like, "He's throwing up with like everything." I was like, "Spit up? He's spitting up? Yeah, he spit up quite a bit, but this is just spit up."
Yeah,
you know, we got to burp him and all that kind of stuff. And it's so in many ways I feel like I come off as like I know to her I come off as lax because she'd be like, you know, why are you just sitting around? I'm like, he's okay. You know, he's absolutely fine. You know,
I definitely
I feel bad for her, honestly, like because she has to put up with what seems like my lazy ass.
Yeah, and I'm
totally not lazy.
I definitely have felt like those moments of like fear where it's like, oh shit, like, are you supposed to be throwing up this much? Like, I don't even like. There have been times where I've like fed him a whole bottle, like 4 ounces or something like that, and then like it
beer?
looks like dude, yeah, and then he'll like toss it all up, and I'm like, I can't visually measure with my eyes how much ounces you just threw up, but it would seem to me that you did at least half of what I just gave you.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say like that's one of the things is when they call it they call it like what emulsifies, like when it's like being digested or whatever.
Oh yeah,
and it like doubles in size. So like whatever you put in there, like as it's like being digested, it like doubles and then shrinks or whatever. And so they in the hospital they told her this. They told us the same thing. They're just like, remember, whatever he's throwing up, like it's not as much as it looks. You know,
that's
like,
okay. You know what? That's interesting because I do remember hearing that, but like,
but then when you have it all over you, it's like it feels like a lot. You know, like
it's all warm. And it's all over
dude,
your,
it just like it like you can use like soap and a rag, but then like you just move the one way and you feel that one spot you missed.
Yeah,
and you're just like, son of a bitch.
Well, it's not just that, but then like it's like the amount of work to just change the shirt now, because it's like you're holding the baby now, like the baby's you know depending on where your baby's at, like you can't just set him down.
No,
so you have to like carry the baby to the shirt. You find the shirt. Hopefully they don't throw up on this shirt too. But dude, that's awesome. So 3 kids.
Yeah.
How the first 2 are one's a daughter and the other is a son, or
another
both
son. Yeah.
Oh,
so oldest is daughter, and then I've got 2 sons. Yeah.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like I said, it's the one thing that they don't like. Okay, so one of the things like I struggle with even being like living a normal life. I realize all my friends at this point they're all comics, like and like one of the things it's like I'm not antisocial. I love socializing, but it's like I hate like texting for too long or like emails. And as a parent, like I know my parents didn't have to put up with this, but like as a parent with a modern child, their teachers email like twice a day.
Oh shit!
Like for those of you who are thinking about having kids, like kids are great, but like and I get it. Like these are like the best teachers because we're in a good school district. I know that they have these kids' best interests at heart, but it's like every day that's like one of them always has like some sort of prompt at the end of like, so what's your opinion on this, or like we want to hear from you specifically, and I'm just like. No, man. Like I'm involved in my kid's life.
Don't I
like
pay taxes for you
exactly.
To do this?
Like
I
will
opinions too and my money.
Just tell me when band practice is, when the concerts are. I will be at every single one. Don't just do what you need to do. Like I don't. Like, but I guess like some people would get upset because it's like they're teaching like that Black Lives Matter or some shit like that.
Can you believe it?
Yeah. Oh my god.
No. I we're about to hit a year, so I'm like, it's all coming together now. He's starting to become a little child. Now I'm just like, time to get back in full force. Like, for you, like, you have the 2 older ones, so you've kind of gone through this before. You haven't really you weren't doing comedy back then though, right?
No.
Yeah. So like, how is it like how, getting into it, like, older kids is probably a little easier because like they have school or they might be staying the night at a friend's house. So you have like a little extra leeway and they're a little older too. So they can make themselves like a mac and cheese or something like that or whatever. But like, now as a new baby, how are you balancing it? Like, how do you do it?
Yeah, I mean, I there for a hot minute. Like, I had like 2 monthly shows, just here in Columbus and all that kind of stuff. And I scaled it back a little bit. Like, I mean, honestly, it's like, it's like with newborns and stuff like that. Like, that's a lot more time consuming. There's a lot. He had a rocky start.
Yeah, especially with.
But now things have balanced out a little bit. And I've set up a bit of a system with that allows me to be a little more active. But producing shows definitely had to take a back seat. You never stop writing. I mean, I think you know that too. Where it's like, even if you don't get to sit down and hammer out the whole idea, you find something, you're like, I need to write it down before I forget it, so that I can come back and circle back to it. I do that kind of thing all the time. So the way everybody always asks, they're like, you got into it late, but you've got kids. I even had one guy who used to ask me all the time. He's like, why aren't you with your kids? And I was just like, I'll be honest. I got into it like a lot of, white dudes did. I was going through a divorce. It was something I always wanted to do. And my best friend and roommate at the time, I was just like, I want to do stand up. I tried it like a handful of times. And made some decent friends then, but he was just like, yeah, about time, cool. And over time, like, my kids weren't living with me as much, or they'd be with me every other weekend, that kind of thing. Now they live with me a little bit more, but like they're a little bit older and a little bit more manageable. On the weekends they'd be with their mom, so that means I'm free to do whatever, get out and do stuff on the weekend. No, not so much, but but it's one of those things where it's like, I mean, if I'm booked, I'm booked. Like, like I've got grandpa around, and even so, like I'm actually a pretty hands-on dad. The emails are like the one thing that bothered me. Like, when it comes to everything else with my kids, they want me to help them build Legos or play Minecraft. Let's go. Yeah. My daughter, she joined band this year. And she was just like, guess what instrument I was going to play? And I was just like, saxophone, because I fucking love saxophone. It's like, I'd never played it, but I want to. That's cool. It's like, and she was like, no, flute. And I was like, cool. There's definitely no famous movie lines about that.
Yeah, dude.
that were formative to my days of band.
And dude, I was gonna say, dude, the band kids are crazy. So you gotta keep an eye on her.
That's okay. So that's where it's like, my daughter's very well informed, and it's like, even at a young age, when the Pride stuff was first kicking off as like mainstream, she's a little kid. She sees rainbows. She's like, I love rainbows. I was like, yeah, so do the gays. She's like, gay people are awesome. I'm like, they are. I get it. And so she's always been like, eventually she'd ask, well, what's that mean? People love each other, okay. But was a few months ago, she came to me and she's like, Dad, I'm a Aero Ace. And I have no fucking clue what arrow means, like, other than pastel. And I was like, I don't even think that store exists anymore, but I know what ace means. That means asexual. And that means that she's not getting done by anything or anyone. And that, as a dad who, like, if she wants birth control, she can have it, but she doesn't. But, like, that just means, like, she's safe. That's
a good bit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just so worried about my daughter. She came over to me and said so Aero Ace means you're asexual. What's the arrow?
I don't know. Probably some like furry thing. Because that was another, like, this is the same girl
maybe,
who, like,
maybe like straight. They're straight like an arrow, but like she isn't interested in having anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't fucking know. That's weird.
Well, but she's always been cool like that. Like, when she was real little, this is true. I think this was like 4 or 5 years ago. She was, her best friend lived next door, and her best friend is a few years older. And she came to me, and she was just like, let's say the kid's name was Brooke at first. She's like, hey, Brooke came to me and said that she doesn't feel like a she anymore. I was like, yeah. And she goes, yeah. Brooke would like us to call him he and him. And I was like, uh-huh. She was like, and I think I'm going to do that because I love Brooke and I want Brooke to be happy. And I was like, heck yeah, right on. I'm down with that. Like, that's, yeah, cool. Like, she's like 6 or 7 or 8, I think. Like, not an hour later, like she's playing with her brother over there, and I saw like he had two of the same action figure, like the same Batman or whatever, and they were like clashing, and she's just like, "Oh, are they married?" And he's like 5. Doesn't think, he's just like, yeah. She's like, haha, gay. So it's like that's where it's like when some people are worried about the kids, I'm not worried about the kids in the slightest. My kids are doing just fine.
I just saw this reel the other day that I thought was hilarious. It was like they were doing like a bunch of No Kings protests everywhere, and the video was of like the street, and it was like just a bunch of people. Some of them were dressed as like bears or something like that.
Oh yeah,
or
yeah.
Shit like that. And it was so funny because you look at the street, and then it pans over to like a trans person, and he's like, fucking queers. And you're just like, not what you expected, but
no.
Oh, but yeah, dude, yeah, man. I mean, yeah, people. I don't know. I've always felt more feminine myself. So, but I've never felt.
You've
like
always
a girl.
looked more feminine to me.
No, thank you. Yeah. That's the good looking part of me, dude. That's the. Yeah,
no, I get it. Yeah.
But yeah, because I had 5 sisters growing up. My dad worked a lot, so it was just my mom, 5 sisters. I got makeup put on me a lot, stuff like that. So. For me, and then, it wasn't until later that I wanted to do like, theater and all that stuff. But then I wanted to like be more expressive, and, you'll find more of those people there.
Oh yeah.
But like, I don't know. I've never felt like another gender or anything. So it's just like weird for me. I've never.
No. Yeah. And that's it. Like that's where it's like, it's one thing like to like, I enjoy doing drag, drag's fun, Bugs Bunny did drag.
Yeah,
Bugs Bunny was a trans.
I've dressed up, in high school. I did like one of those like they did like a basketball game, and I was one of the seniors that dressed up in a dress or some shit.
Yeah,
like that.
No, it can be fun. Like it's just shtick, like and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like it's a wonderful art form in and of itself. I forget what I was gonna say with that.
Just because you're wearing a dress doesn't mean you gotta suck dick.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's really it. That's really it. It's it's not in the rules. That's the assumption that gets made, and that's really that's the assumption that I think a lot of not to knock, but a lot of conservative people make. And it's like, if you just understood, just because they're wearing a dress doesn't mean you can peek underneath it. You know.
Because I mean, even a lot of like the conservative crowd, like a lot of like the musicians they listen to, like they do makeup and they do like Kiss.
Oh yeah,
Kiss. I mean, I don't know if they were conservative or not, but like that they were back in the day, and they were literally like women. They dressed as women.
Yeah, oh absolutely.
I saw the one commercial that they did where they did no makeup Kiss, and it was
it's unnerving.
Yeah, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, the music video where they first walk out, and Gene Simmons is just like mean mugging, and it's like it's not the same.
Yeah.
Now you just look like a really weird old
now
dude.
You look creepy.
Yeah,
you
just
need the dress and the.
He's just like
they
marching
weren't wearing
up
dresses,
like this, all like whoa, yeah.
But
oh no,
kind of like, dude, I don't know. Like, imagine if Trump came out in a dress and said some untasteful things about like people. I feel like people wouldn't hate him as much. You know what I mean? They'd be like, huh, like
yeah. like
a Milo Yiannopoulos, but Trump version.
Yeah.
Like, these freaking straights. Fucking straights.
He just calls everyone queer. I feel like he could get away with it. If he started calling everyone queer, like everyone's queer. They just said it with that Queen's accent. It starts sliding. But he hasn't found that yet. I think he forgot that's a word for him. And it's too far up in the alphabet. He has to get
or maybe he like he relates to it too much, so he doesn't use it because he's like, that's offensive.
Queer, what a queer word. Queer.
That word, I'm queer.
It's my word, but I'm not very comfortable with
it. Yeah, man. I do kind of wish that more people were willing to like just say stuff like him. I feel like the political correctness, like the suit and tie, like. I don't know.
Well, see, this is my thing, and I agree with you, except that like, at least on the left, anytime somebody over there says something, they just get told like stop whining or something. Like a lot of time, like a lot of the perceived like when people are speaking their mind, it doesn't matter what side, but the other side will be like, quit your bitching. Mm-hmm. It's like this is democracy, like this, like let them have their speak, like let them say what they have, let them get it out. Now let's try and see if this is a legitimate idea or not.
Yeah.
If there's a pretty strong chance that if somebody comes in wearing a tinfoil hat, we know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
But on that same page, if somebody comes in wrapped up in an American flag, I also know that they're probably full of shit. And selling me something too. Like that's there's
politicians to me, they seem to me like they're like the terms of service. Like you sign them in, but you don't really know what you're signing up for. You know what I mean? You're kind of just you know what I mean? You're like, I think I want to play Monopoly, but like I didn't know that you were also gonna like traffic children. Like you know what I mean? Like, what? Bomb countries. What?
I
just wanted healthcare.
It is kind of weird. You mentioned Monopoly. I actually thought about this the other day, and it's like Monopoly is supposed to be like the capitalism game, right?
Yeah.
That no game of Monopoly ever ends well.
Yeah.
Like it never ends well.
And you
even if you have like I've played like games where you have like 8 people play.
Yeah.
Like where it's like everybody starts out with a puddle of money kind of thing, and it scales down pretty quick.
Yeah.
But you'll watch people start working with each other, be like, we gotta knock out such and such.
Yeah.
Like I'll trade you this, you trade me that. That'll lock down that for you. This will lock down this for me. We'll just worry about each other later on. It's like that's capitalism. Mm-hmm. That's what we're seeing right now.
But the thing is, though, is like I'm a huge capitalist fan, but what I will say is that like Monopoly, it's like everyone starts at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like a buy-in poker game.
Yeah.
You're getting in after people have already been playing thousands of rounds.
Oh yeah.
So now they they already own up all the stuff. It's not like
they give you that little bit of randomness with the die, but after a couple of turns around the board, and that's where if anything, I think that each round around the board that represents a generation.
Oh, there you go.
And so every time, like if somebody gets a bad roll and gets locked up early on or something like that, suddenly they fall behind in the generational wealth as it spools up, and it just compounds for their families until they're they just can't. It's better not to play.
It's like it's weird because like we're getting into a point now where like we have all these people like what we're told. I don't know if there's 8 billion people on there. I haven't seen them, but if the numbers are right, there's 8 billion people out there. So it's like. So I get it that there's a lot more people out there doing stuff that like can affect the environment and whatnot. But like one of the things that's really hard is like regulations. Just like in order to do anything like legally, it's impossible. It's like if you want to like start a company, you know what I mean? It's like paying people under the table is like looked down upon. But it's almost like you kind of almost have to do it in the beginning. Like you it's. You
like I see,
it's hard pressed if you're gonna be.
But that's capitalism.
Yeah,
like I mean that's kind of how the game gets played. Is those who have money fare off better and have more accessibility than those who don't. It's just it's one of those things where it's like we live in a society where there's people rich enough that if there is some sort of travesty, they profit off of it instead of losing them.
Yeah.
There's no net gain. It's one of those. I always tell when I talk to people about politics and stuff like that. Like when people like dive or like believe things that like billionaires tell them, and it's like, remember, like they don't owe allegiance to America. Yeah. They have enough money that they can buy entire states. Like it was Ted Turner essentially like owned like a huge enough land to own a few states. At one point. It's one of those where it's like they don't owe the country anything in a way. That's why the government is supposed to be our union to rein them in, if anything. Like, hey, distribute your horde, dragon. You know, that's the idea. That's what it should be.
Yeah.
But when they control the government, it will not operate in good faith.
Because now it's like there's no competition. You'll never be competed with, because it's like, in order to compete, your thing has to be either that much better. So it's like people are just like, why aren't we doing this instead? Or like you have to have like, you know, backers or like crowdfunding or some shit like that to like get enough money to buy into that.
And even then, it's you have to have enough money to buy into it. Even if you're wanting to market, you have to buy in on such and such advertising, and that's a bit of a roll of the dice. And let's see if you know, you know, we were using the Monopoly allegory. Producing shows is kind of the same way. Each round is kind of a bit, that's the dice roll. Let's see, you know, how much money should I put down on marketing for this month? Will it draw enough people for, you know, to the door to pay off, and then still have enough to pay my, you know, the people that I have on the show. You know, it's a bit of a gamble, but the rich people, the people who already have the money, they're fine. They know that they don't have to sweat paying the talent.
You guys just see that the Kinder family just I'm
like the Kinder egg.
I'm assuming
that family.
I think
I didn't even know they were a family. I guess that, you know, if you lay eggs, you probably have a pretty large family.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So they just pledged to give 90% or 95% of their. I don't know if it was. I don't. It's got to be more than 10 million. It's probably 10 billion. Like dollars in wealth that they have. They're like gonna give away 90 or 95% of it, dude. The heat's picking up, dude. People are hearing like, if I have more than $1 billion, people are gonna shoot me.
I mean, it's because it's like
I'm gonna give away all of my money.
Yeah, like I mean, like why? Like I get like it's one
that
of
would
those
have been awesome if like. I'm not like, you know, saying that what happened to that guy, you know, the whole Luigi thing, you know, it's, you know, bad and good in both situations, you know, but it would have been kind of crazy if the result would have been all of the billionaires being like, all right, sorry,
you know what?
Here it is.
Yeah, you know what?
Take half of all of our stuff.
The next day, there's a bill goes up for a legislation that's like raising minimum wage to 25 an hour, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, like
federally,
you know, like it's like like the tariffs would work, you know, all that kind of stuff if people were getting paid like where they should be, you know, like I'll lend some credence to like, oh yeah, that could work if Americans were more wealthier than they actually are, and they're not.
But again, though, this is like one of those things that I was like, you know, regulation. This is like one of those things that like it causes people to not be able to like to play. Like I just heard recently where it was like, you know, people trying to build bridges or people trying to like, you know, get permits to like build stuff, and it's like, you know, it's so impossible to like get permits.
Oh yeah,
but then
I think half of that. But I think part of the reason like it's so impossible is because like the current system, even here in Columbus where we're at, it's built in a way where it's like, oh, if you want to get things done, you're required to grease the palms of the people. Yeah, you know, like I used to work in property management and real estate, and I very privy to watching things happen where it's like, you know, somebody, you know, we're breaking ground on affordable housing. The plans are submitted one way, and then after ground is broken, everything, they're like, oh, they revised the plans, blah blah blah, and now it's luxury apartments. You know, like there's all these like little tricks. I remember one guy was talking about like when Ohio was when they first were legalizing weed, and like the buy-in to just do the application for weed was like,
it was like 15 or like
it was like $100,000.
Oh,
it was like a stupid amount of money. And so right off the rip, it's like, okay, only rich people get to sit at the table. Yeah. And even then, it's a roll of dice. So it can't be just like your life savings. You've always wanted to be, you know, a weed guy. And, you know, you just had, you know, you saved up every penny just for this application. No, because you have to have money left over to, it's a scam, you know. Yeah. That's kind of Ohio's government.
And then
right
afterwards,
now.
they'll tax you fucking, I don't even know what the percentage, but like, you know, it's probably like, I would assume it's probably like 30 or 40 or something like that on marijuana, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. I don't know how the taxes work for like,
Well,
recreational drugs, like alcohol and stuff like that. But
no, but we're also like, one of the things we're all doing is we're paying the electric bill for like the data centers and stuff. Like,
is that true?
That's true.
Is that what's
it's
really
absolutely
happening?
Which is wild because like, we as a populace generate more revenue for the state than those data centers.
Yeah.
They're not paying our electric bills.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Well, something that, everyone, we always talk about, like, they talked about UBI and stuff like that. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know if this was a part of Andrew Yang's whole thing, but like, why don't they just pay us for our data? Like,
because they haven't had to so far. And that's it. See, they've already been getting it for free, and other countries have already gotten privy to that. In some places, that's a thing. But here, we've been coaxed along this whole thing of like, oh, you're given a free service using social media and all that, and it's the sunken cost fallacy of I've already spent so much time and energy myself, posting pictures and sharing all this. I don't want to just turn it off because they've been selling my data. I mean, they already, you have they already have it mentality.
Yeah.
And when the reality of it is, the only way we're going to get stuff done in this country is by general strike of working. And yeah, turning off all the social media apps. I've been struggling with it. Like, I hate being on social media.
Yeah.
And I when you talk to other people, we all have this fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like we feel it's a necessity,
Yeah.
that we have to log into whichever one it is that we have to.
Dude, something that Andrew Schultz was just talking about, and I mean, it's when you think about it, I guess it kind of makes sense. But like, he was telling me, or not, he was talking on the podcast about how like, the social media algorithms, like everyone's on like a different page.
Everybody's
like,
in a different bubble. Absolutely.
Because, like
absolutely.
You're seeing videos and you're thinking that's what everybody
else is seeing.
thinking,
Yeah.
But like literally it's literally just giving you what you want. So it's like, so it's,
that's why
who actually has like actual, novel thoughts anymore? Like, there?
That's why I encourage people to go out to like open mics and not just any comedy show, but open mics. I'll plug my own. I host an open mic every Wednesday at Ruby's on Summit here at the OSU campus. Because every week I've got students who come in there, fresh faces who this is their first time here in stand-up comedy, or such and such lots of fantasy football. So we got to get them up on stage, and a lot of them, like, the look on their face when they hear ideas that challenge their worldview, and it's like, yeah, welcome. You've been in a bubble.
Yeah.
Like, this is the real world. This is what we're all actually talking about.
Yeah.
It's and then you'll get that at other stand-up shows, but an open mic, it's raw. Some of it's not funny. Yeah. Some of it's like you hear where people are like, you laughed at that. It's not funny. It was like, I can hear where the funny is. Like, I can hear where they're trying to get to. But like, no, that's one of the reasons I love it
too. Is that like, people need to like back off a little bit. If someone's working on a joke, as long as it's not a white dude just saying the N-word, let him cook a little bit. Let him cook a little bit, and then if they've done it 10 times and it's still not great, say something then. But you know what I mean? But like, let them fail a little bit, let them feel the pain, because if it's really not good, they'll know themselves. You know what I mean? Unless they're delusional, So it's like, let them cook, and then if it burns, then they'll burn, and if they don't, then you can kind of be like, hey, maybe the reason why it's not boiling is because you need to stop. You just need to stop watching this pot, dude.
Yeah,
the burner's not on.
I've learned this from other comics, and I've utilized it myself, where it's like, I host a mic, and if I hear somebody doing the same joke, you might critique it the first time, mention something about it, either from stage or to them, depending on how the joke is. But there's a certain point where, like, if everybody's like, oh no, like the moment they start the joke, and it's just like, everybody knows what this is. It's a bad joke. No, dude. I'll my favorite thing to do is, like, as they get off stage, I'll just ask them. I was like, so what do you think is funny about that joke? Let's talk about it. Like, that's what an open mic is anyways. But like, gosh darn, there's some stupid shit. I hear less and less of it, though. Even from like the newer comics, they may not be polished, but they find their footing pretty quick, or what works.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing is just like it's stand up comedy. It doesn't mean you have to be a beat poet. Doesn't mean you have to do music. Just make them laugh. be entertaining and make them laugh. That's it. You know, that's the goal. You know?
Well, that's what I was talking. Bobby and I were just talking about this. Where I was like, you know, he was talking about poetry and stuff like that, and you know, I was telling him that like poetry is like around the same. It's like it's similar because you can put jokes in there and everything, and you can make people cry and everything. But like I don't know, man. Like stand up to me is just like it's just like the purest because it's like you're expected to go up with no music. You're expected to go up with no props. It's just you.
Oh, yeah.
And now you are creating a world with words and you know, and stand up, you can make people laugh. You can make people cry. You can make people angry, you know, stuff like that. So it's like you get that whole range of emotions just from someone talking.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's crazy.
No,
even poetry is even written. I mean, I guess stand up, you know, when someone's doing it and they're really good, it's, you know, it is kind of like rhythm. It's like a beats, but like
when somebody does poetry and it's funny, it feels gimmicky. It's the same thing with music. You know what I mean? Like where it's like people were like, "Why didn't you do more original music?" And it's like because if I'm doing original, it feels gimmicky putting it to like okay, if I've started a song and it starts as a song first, putting funny lyrics over it is going to it's not going to fit. You know, but like if I reverse that, if I've got the funny lyrics and I write the, you know, you'll notice a lot of comedians or whatever, the song part isn't big, grand, and epic unless you're Tenacious D. You know, one of the reasons I do parodies specifically is because the song itself, the song choice, is the setup. You know, like that in itself, it gives people an awareness. They know what a lot of, you know, as long as the song's popular enough, you know, I do a lot of classic rock for a reason, you know, because people know what the vocal melody is. They know what it's supposed to say. And so they know what they should be listening for. And if I'm if I'm matching up if I'm doing it right, they'll hear what I'm saying versus what it should be, you know? And so it's like, yeah, like, I love doing, like, you know, I still love doing normal stand-up comedy. My issue is like, even if the guitar isn't on stage with me, if it's a show where I'm booked and people know who I am, they expect the guitar. And so it's like, I feel like I can only get away with so much. Pick up the guitar, you know, if it's a longer set, thankfully I can do a couple songs, put it down, you know, do some chatting or whatever, and then, you know, reintroduce it with another bit or something.
Do you start off with the guitar always, or if you're doing like a longer set?
It depends. You know, like especially if it's a room that's never met me, that buys me more time. You know, I do find that though, like even the comics that I usually am with on the road or whatever, they all knew who I am. They all expect me to just whip the guitar out too, because if I'm local, it's about guaranteed to be the first thing to come out, or at least it'll at least be in my hand.
Yeah, because I do know of I know like probably like 4 stand-up comics like right now that like kind of like have like a guitar act and their thing, and you know typically they save it for the end and they do it like I got a treat for you, like, hey, if you like that stuff, wait until you see this stuff.
See, I don't even. That's like
if you thought my dick jokes were funny,
and I started
wait
that
until
way.
you hear my dick songs.
I kind of started that way. I mean, like, and oftentimes like that's how I get presented on shows and stuff like that. But at least when it comes to the music, I've started doing. I've got a rock opera kind of thing that I've been working on. Okay. It's called Jeff Goldblum's American Dream. It's you know, parodies. It's like Moulin Rouge but less gay. It's plenty gay. It's very gay. But like it's something that I've been working on for a little over a year. But it's like I've tried out all the songs. I've kind of, you know, over the course of different shows and stuff, like been able to perform bits of it or like a shortened version of it. But I've hammered out what is like the structure of it, and it is like a little bit of a stage show. Use a couple friends, and it's different now. Like it's one of those things where it's like that's the special treat. You know, I still kind of have all these other songs. Like I have so many songs that people don't hear because it's like I'll write it and it's like it's worth it for this week or whatever, and then it gets tossed aside. The cool thing is that means I can always go back to that song and reuse it for something that I like. But like no, there's there's enough to tell a cohesive story, like a second part to the one that I already have. Even,
what would be super awesome is you write this whole like album or whatever that you're doing, do the live show, like get it recorded, like for like a CD or whatever, and then you should do one of those like old infomercials for like those songs. Like those,
no,
like
that's
those,
actually you're nailing it.
Dude.
That is so. My whole inspiration
because when you said it's like this but less gay, and then you were like it's plenty gay.
Yeah.
That would be perfect for like the like.
That's,
it's like this,
yeah.
but less gay.
Honestly,
it's actually pretty gay.
No, that's because that's
With
kind of the
classic
inspiration
songs,
for all
like
this.
Lick My Butthole and
The Time Life monster ballads and all that, those commercials back from the 90s. That's actually what inspires half of my musical taste.
You like wake up at midnight and there's just like some classic, your dad's favorite classics for $19.99 for 10 CDs.
Yeah, dude, it was the best.
Delivered to
It was
your
the best,
home.
dude. They were the best. Like,
And if you order right now, we will send you a autographed CD.
Time Life presents the Midnight Specials, special guest 40 CDs, special blah blah blah. Yeah. With Wolfman Carruthers. His last name wasn't Carruthers. It was Wolfman. I didn't actually grow up with. That's the other thing is like all that music. We didn't grow up with that music.
Yeah.
Except we did because of the commercials.
Yeah.
You know, like I wasn't alive for half that shit.
Yeah.
You know, but like I am painfully aware who Christopher Cross is and all that stuff because of it.
Yeah.
And it completely informs all of my. I actually approached one of the clubs here at one point. They do music improv. And this was like right as I was starting to kind of formulate all of this, and I was like, "You guys want to do like a Time Life monster ballad thing, where like the musicians and everything set up, and we have two hosts, and we kicked around the idea, and everything got the feet just got drugged so much. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do the stupid rock opera idea, and I'm real excited about it. So
that sounds really fun, dude.
There'll be news about it. We are gonna do a live recording of it. You can follow me on social media and stuff to get more info as that rolls out. I'm hoping to do it early next year.
Okay, cool.
And the plan is like people who know the songs and stuff. I want them to come out for the early test ones to record it.
Mm-hmm.
That way I kind of have a little bit of something to put out there, and then maybe build up another one and do another recording down the road. With
How much time do you think you have of like
the
good song material stuff?
So the main story. I've got two songs because some of the songs don't get played all the way through. I like to do bit pieces because it also makes it feel more cohesive as a musical. So there's two little scenes that I don't know if they're worth keeping because the songs I feel like slow the pacing down. That's the other thing is like I feel like I have to like think of the pacing of a musical. You don't want too many slow songs.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, where else are you going to do a few slow songs other than in the middle of a musical? You do that on anything, it's going to slow the whole tempo down. So but no, Sour Cream is definitely in it. That is the slow song of the thing. For those who know, Yeah. It'll be a major plot point.
Dude, yeah, I love your music stuff. Like watching you do music stuff always makes me wish I did it more. But like the same thing that you were just talking about is like the exact reason I don't, because I don't want to like pull out the ukulele or pull out a guitar and then like that becomes my thing. You know what I mean? And I mean,
you struggle with it.
Yeah. And here's the thing, like, it's because it's not the type of comedian I want to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I want to be the tradition, because to me the music stuff seems easy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's the other thing. Is it kind of does. It is
because like I could, we could play any song and then we could throw any lyrics on any song. Like for me, like melody, like doing like melodies and stuff like that. That's like my freestyle. I can't like rap over a beat like freestyle, but I start playing a song that like everyone knows. I can like lay over words on top so easy.
Absolutely.
And so it's like for me, it's like, I could do that. And it would be fun, and like I would have fun doing it. But at the same time, it's like the end goal. Like I feel like it would detract from the end goal. But
yeah,
but Weird Al, but Adam Sandler, he was like he was like a musician, comedy guy, and he did fine. He did stand up for a while, but now he like literally only does music.
Yeah.
Is it funny music or is he like writing like songs?
It's a mix of both.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a mix of the two.
Because I haven't seen any of his like new stuff yet. So
no, he's doing great.
Yeah, I mean he's good. Yeah. And so like, but like I also
the other flip side of that is like if you're a music comic and you're known for it, even if you are funny without the guitar or it's like a bit, nobody notices. Which on one side it's like cool, nobody noticed, like it didn't detract from whatever. But also that's a bit I've been working on. Everybody laughed and nobody even realized like that was actually a bit. It wasn't off the cuff, it's and so it's like it's a whole like it's a distraction. But at the same time it's like I have fun playing music for people too,
Yeah.
It's just
I love
it's just a shame it has to be about cum. I'm sorry, you guys. That's what you guys are entertained by.
Yeah, dude.
I would sing about other stuff, but you guys won't book me for that. So
it's like we want to hear Def talk about cum, more cum.
Can you sing about poop this time?
Yeah, please. We're actually looking for less cum related material. We were wondering if you could write more about shit.
I got a song about piss. How about that? Close enough.
I don't know. The guy says
is it coming out the front or the back?
We'll work with it. Oh, dude, nice. Do you have any shows coming up anytime soon, or?
I have something, and I've got stuff coming up I don't remember.
Okay, cool.
Like nothing here in October. I've got a couple things in November, December, all here in Columbus. I've been sticking pretty close to home, but I'm gonna be again as we're going into next year. Follow me on social media, Def Goldblum Comedy on Instagram. Also follow The Attic and hashtag because that's who I work with. I've got a couple of irons in the fire with both of them.
Awesome. And then your open mic
it's at Ruby's on Summit every Wednesday. Doors and sign up at 7 p.m. We start the show 7:30ish, and the room kind of fills up as the night goes on. The students on campus are super supportive of the comedy when they know what's going on. So yeah, come out. Also cheap ass drinks, shit pizza. What else could you want?
Yeah, dude. Thanks
shit pizza in the best way too.
Dude, thanks so much for coming on.
No,
dude.
Eddie, it's always a pleasure.
Dude, congrats on your baby.
No,
dude.
same to you.
Dude,
same to you. Same to you.
And then dude, everybody, thanks for listening in. This was Def Goldblum, and we will see you guys next episode.
Yeah, later.